Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Sunday, the 18th of April 2021. Today is Stats Sunday. But before we get to all the stats from yesterday's 0-0 draw away at Brentford, we're going to talk about this story that popped up here at londonnewsonline.co.uk, which is the South London Press's online website. And this is Millwall duo set to miss remainder of the season with fresh setback West Brom loanee. And that is right, that is Kenneth Zohore. And Kenneth Zohore is injured again. Such a shame. Kenneth Zohore and Ben Thompson both look unlikely to play for Millwall again this season. Lion boss Gary Rowett confirmed the duo are set to miss the remainder of the Championship campaign. Striker Matt Smith is already ruled out for the rest of the season due to a broken foot. Midfielder Thompson and on-loan West Brom striker Zohore both set out a 0-0 draw at Brentford yesterday. Ken Zohore was out today. Looks very unlikely he's going to play much part moving forward into the last 4 games, said Rowett. Smudge definitely won't, and Tomo I don't think will, so it's just those options that we are short of at the minute. But we won't complain. We've just got to get on with it and see if we can find 1 or 2 solutions. It's frustrating. We want to get them back, but I think it's going to be next season. Well, I hope it's not next season for Kenneth Zohore. Has he been in and out of the team with injuries constantly? I hope we do not sign him, even though there's probably a decent player there. We can't have a high paid player who doesn't play. Irrespective of how much quality he seems to have, if he's not playing, it doesn't matter, does it? So go back to West Brom. Good luck, mate. Bye bye. Anyway, moving on. So Stats Sunday. This is from Experiment 361. This is the expected goals over the time of the match from yesterday's game. As you can see, the red line is Brentford and the blue line is Millwall. Now, Brentford's expected goals were 1.1. Millwall's was 0.7. But if you're looking at a graph, I think you can see there's pretty stark things standing out for you. Notably, this flat blue line for Millwall from, what was that, the 27th minute until the end of the game. Not a decent chance towards the goal in a third of the first half and all of the second half. It was backs against the wall, defend. Although we did have that chance late on with Danny McNamara, but technically because it wasn't strike, it didn't go towards the goal, it doesn't count as a expected goal. If he had took it on and had a whack, that would have counted as a chance on goal, but he didn't. He tried to cross it along and it didn't really find anyone. So there you go. Complete no shot for 45 minutes of the second half and 15 or so minutes or 17 minutes of the end of the first half. And you can see we started off the better team for the first 25 minutes. We had a few decent chances on goal. Our first shot was a pretty decent chance. You see how high up the blue line jumps, but then we kept Brentford quiet. They did not have a chance on goal until about the 25th minute. And then they have a really good chance and they don't score. And you can see they have a couple more chances and we just seem to switch into defense mode and we keep them out. They have a really good chance late on. You see how high it jumps up there, but to no avail. But there you go. That was a 0-0 draw. If anyone, that's a 0-0 draw right there. You're not gonna, or if you can't get a shot on goal in the 45 minutes of a game, you're probably not gonna win it. So that was seems to be a pretty decent point for us. Pretty decent point. So there you go. So we're going to move on now to this. This is infocol.net. So you see here in the middle, above the red FT, the expected goals. They give it slightly different, but it's quite similar to the one we've just seen. They give it 1.05 to Brentford and 0.74 to Millwall. So let's have a look back. So it was 1.1, 0.7. So basically it's pretty much similar. And there you go, the events of the match. Yellow card for Evans, who was getting stuck in yesterday, wasn't he? Could have been lucky not to get sent off. Maybe not, but they took him off anyway. Both sides only using 3 substitutes. So is that a nod to next season? In terms of if we're going back to 3 substitutes next season, they're trying to get everyone used to that now, because there's no point. I suppose you can still do 5 if you want, but they're probably going to try and do 3 and use the 4th and the 5th if someone gets injured or something like that. Maybe it was just it wasn't the intention. But it seems a bit weird that both teams only did 3 substitutions. But there you go. So let's have a look at the stats, the numbers behind what happens. So yep, as usual, we did not have the possession. We don't want it. We let them have it. We only care about the goals. So possession wise, 62 to 38. Attempts on target, only 1 per side, 1 and 1. But attempts off target, 8 for them, 3 for Millwall. Block shots, 1 for them, 0 for us. So we only had 4 shots on. Oh, and the goalkeeper saves. The goalkeeper saved 1 and 1, so we had 5 shots and they had 11. So total passes, not that big of a difference. 539 to 401. Completed passes 441 to 290. That's a pretty big drop there. Corners 5 to 4. Offside 0 for them, 2 for us. Fouls pretty even, 12 to 11. Yellow cards 1 and 1. So there you go. So let's move on to the maps. So the expected goals over the pitch. Where were they? Of course, no one scored, but where were the likely? So if we move to the first half, you can see Brentford pretty quiet. Not a lot going on there. Very small chances. Millwall in the first half, pretty similar 4, but a lot closer. If you look at that 6-yard box, in and around that 6-yard box, and of course the one by Scott Malone now in 22 minutes. 32% chance of being a goal, but it wasn't. He just leant back and put it over the bar. It's a fairness rating. So if you look at there, the fairness rating at the bottom means, well, I'll bring it up. So there you go. Scale from 0 to 100, where 100% where the process most clearly mirrors the real scoreline. So there you go. So 92 out of 100. That was a fair result. I think you've got to agree. Let's go. So second half, Brentford a bit more fired up. Have a similar amount of chances, but a couple of better quality chances, but still not scoring. And there you go. Have a look. Nada. Not a one shot by Millwall going towards the goal in the second half. In all 45 minutes of that second half. Yikes. But Brentford are a good side. If you need to defend against them, you need to defend against them. And we got away with the draw, so it's a pretty decent result. So let's have a look at the lineup and see what they give for player ratings. Their player ratings are a bit odd. It's basically just goals, expected goals scored and expected goals defended. So it's not really all-round general play, but you see they give man of the match to Pinnock for Brentford, most of the Brentford players, it was 6 or above. Couple of 5.8 and 5.7, and they've got 4 players in yellow. But enough of that. Let's have a look at Millwall. So Malone is green, and he's the only one. And all the others not too good. Wallace not too good again. Jed Wallace 5.84. Bennett 6.61. Murray Wallace 6.72. Yeah, he had a pretty decent game. Bierkowski again 6.58. So there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at the subs. Did the subs do anything worth? Not really. They had ratings in the 5s. So there you go. Although, like I said with the ratings, if you look here, Tyler Burry got 5.67. He come on in the 90th minute. So how much time did he have to get that rating? And you look at Jed Wallace's rating, 5.84. And that's nearly... Tyler Burry's nearly got as high a score as Jed Wallace there, which is quite shocking. So anyway, let's move on to whoscored.com. Whoscored.com is where they get the ratings for the EFL Team of the Week. So let's have a look here. So match summary. Brentford were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from counter-attacks, but were poor at finishing. Millwall stole the ball often from the opposition, were poor at finishing, gave away a lot of free kicks around the box, and attacked down the right side. Brentford had a large quantity of possession in their opponent's half, dominated possession of favoured short passing. So there you go, and that's the numbers there, pretty much what we've just seen in the other stats on infogoal.net. 10 attempts from Brentford, 4 from Millwall, 5 from open play for Brentford, 3 from open play for Millwall, 4 from set piece. So again, giving away free kicks around the box. 4 from set piece from Brentford, 1 from Millwall, and 1 counter attack from Brentford. And there you go. They had 10 total. We had 4, but both teams not scoring. And if you look here, you can see the position of the players. Once again, bunching up in the field. The opposition, if you look on the left-hand side. And I've noticed this before when Ryan Woods plays, those strikers and midfielders tend to bunch around that area where Ryan Woods does his job. That's a pretty weird formation there from Brentford. Pretty clear cut though, and you can see here on the right hand side for Millwall, pretty clear cut for them as well. You can see Jed Wallace playing off of Danny McNamara on that right hand side, so that was probably if you looked at yesterday's video that I made, you see there's something that Gary Rowett spoke about, that and using the wing backs to get forward, especially Danny McNamara. You can see here, so Jed and Danny playing off of each other on that right hand side, so maybe that's affected Jed's score if he wasn't free to do what he wanted and had to play a role. But what you gotta do, what you gonna do? There you go. So anyway, let's move on to the graphics. So here we go. If you look at the top at the badges, you can see the average rating for the teams by all the players added up and then divided. So you can see pretty even. 6.68 for Brentford, 6.66 for Millwall. That is as even as you're going to get this game. There's usually quite, if you look at the teams that win a game and lose a game, it's quite a big difference. So that is a pretty even score. But we've got some agreement here with the two websites. Pinnock being given man of the match 7.9 for Brentford, and Janssen 7.6 for Brentford. And they have another player on 7, Jensen 7.1. and it's quite. We actually have more players higher rated. We got Murray Wallace 7.0, Pierce 7.0, Cooper 7.2, Malone 7.6. So we've got 4 players on 7 and above, and they've just got the 3. So that's pretty decent, isn't it? Who got the lowest? So George Evans 6.5, lowest mark. Probably because of the card, and he's giving away the free kicks, I would imagine. But everyone pretty decent. Oh, actually, Jed Wallace again 6.2. 6.2. Damn, that's quite low, isn't it? So let's have a look at total shots. As we've seen, it was 10 and 4, but who had them? So Malone had 2, Murray Wallace had 1, and Bennett had 1. So there you go. But you can see for Brentford, pretty much everyone down this central core had a shot. Top scorer of the league, runaways top scorer Ivan Toney had 3, and Force had 2, but did not score. So possession wise, who had the most of the match possession? We have, so yeah, again, Ryan Woods 5.6 for us, Murray Wallace and Cooper quite high, McNamara quite high, Malone quite high, Bennett not really getting on the ball, Jed Wallace 3.5. So there you go. So there you go. Yep. So let's move on. Pass success percentage 82 to 72 in terms of accurate passing. So they outpassed us. They had their 3 centre backs and keeper quite high. So there you go. But damn, so probably one of the reasons why Bennett didn't get much time on the ball was because he only had a pass accuracy of 45. He was not passing the ball accurately, so probably not getting on 1-2s moving or give and goes, give and gets moving. So Malone quite low there as well, 68, but everyone else pretty decent. Murray Wallace 69, that's pretty good with the long balls. And again, Biakowski 22, but then you look at Martin 91, that's pretty in terms of kicking it long and kicking it short, so there you go. Dribbles, not bad for us, 8 and 9. 8 and 9. So that for them it was just the 3 players doing the dribbling, but for us pretty much everyone across the midfield except for Kifton Bell, Murray Wallace and Jed Wallace. So there you go. Aerials won, absolutely dominated. So you can see the man of the match, probably why he had got man of the match. 11 aerials won. Bennett won 6 for Mill, Cooper 5, Murray Wallace 4, McNamara won 1, but everyone else not really getting involved in the aerial battles, and that's not too good when you got most of the Brentford team winning the aerial battle, except for 3 of their players, 3 of the starting 11. So there you go. So tackles 10 to 15. So we're getting stuck in on the tackles, which is pretty decent. Except for Murray Wallace and McNamara there. In terms of defenders and midfielders, everyone else getting involved, except for Jed Wallace again. I think in the last game he didn't have many tackles. He wasn't really doing any of that. Corners 5 to 4, yeah, and there's who took them. Dispossessed, so we dispossessed them 11 to 7, and the right players got dispossessed because it's all the 6 attacking players. So that's what you want to see. But in terms of dispossessed, Mills to McNamara 2. Okay, so we've seen that. Let's go on to the actual list of stats. It's pretty much most of the stuff you've just seen, but a little few bits more, and we can see it a bit more clearly. So, in terms of man of the match for Millwall, so 7.57 for Scott Malone compared to, let's have a look for Brentford. The guys, so 7.85 or 7.88. So not that far behind. Not that far behind. Jake Cooper 7.18, Pierce 7.02. Seems to not have played that badly. Even though the putting his name on the team sheet appears to cause some people some worry, but acquitted himself quite well yesterday. Mario Wallace 7.0, and as we can see, so 2 lowest rated players are 2 substitutes. Tyler Burry 6.0, John Dandy Boy Voss 6.08, but he only had less than 20 minutes. But then Jed Wallace 6.21, and one of the substitutes got a better rating than him, even though Jed Wallace was on the pitch for 89 minutes. Billy Mitchell was only on the pitch for 22 minutes. So Jed got 6.21, Billy Mitchell got 6.26. That is not what you want to see. Jed Wallace, I think this is 2 games in a row, absolute stinker. Stinker. So we've seen the shots, but we only had 1 shot on target, and that was Scott Malone. If you only have 1 shot on target, it needs to be a good one, because it needs to go in, and then you're only going to have 1 goal. 1 shot on target, 1 goal. That's pretty. You need to be pretty lucky for that to win you a game. But when you're playing against a team that can do you on the break, you don't want to risk going forward to cut your nose off to spite your face and end up getting smacked out the back. So touches, who had the most touches for Millwall? Yep, Ryan Woods, Scott Malone, Mario Wallace, Danny McNamara, George Evans. So Jed Wallace is all the way down in 9th, not really getting on the ball. That's probably affecting his score there, and that's pretty much. And then Mason Bennett 26. So damn, that's quite low, isn't it? Yeah, so he had less. Had a lot less touches than Jed Wallace, but got a higher score. That's damn okay. So passing accuracy. So you got 5 players, pretty decent, and it drops off. Okay, moving on. Oh, so Billy Mitchell 87.5, but from 11 touches. So there you go. Moving on to offensive. What are we going to look at? So dispossessed. Who got dispossessed? Yeah, Danny McNamara. We've seen that. So 6 players dispossessed. So not good for Tyler Burry coming on so late and getting dispossessed there. Unscheduled touches, but too poor ball control. Pretty much all of the team had some of that. 9 players there. 3 for Danny McNamara, 2 for Mason Bennett, 2 for Jed Wallace, 2 for Scott Malone. So that's not good at all. So defensively, who did the defensive hard work? Total tackles. So 4 for Malone, 3 for Woods. For Woods getting in on the tackles. It's pretty surprising now. So interceptions, Scott Malone 5, Kefton Bell 3. There you go. So clearances. So Alex Pearce 7, Mario Wallace 6, and then even Mason Bennett 3. So there you go. Block shots. Who blocked the shot? Jay Cooper. Yeah, there you go. Fouls. Gave away the fouls. So you got 8 players there giving away fouls. George Evans 2. Pardon me. So George Evans there, giving away 2. Kefton Bell 2. Jay Cooper 2. So moving on to passing. Yep. So who had the most passes for Millwall? So there you go. Ryan Woods 54. Mario Wallace 42, Scott Malone 40, and then there you go. But what can we see? So crosses. So Scott Malone 4 crosses, but only 2 were accurate. Jed Wallace again 3 crosses, but only 0, but none of them were accurate. Danny McNamara 2 and 1, Mario Wallace 1 and 0, George Evans 1 and 1, Kefton Bell 1 and 1. So long balls. Let's have a look at long balls. So Biakowski 22 long balls, only 4 are accurate because he's got no one to aim at, and it seems Pinnock was just winning all the aerials. On most of the Brentford defence were. It seems, looking at the stats. So we've got George Evans 9 and 7. That's tidy, isn't it? Ryan Woods 8 and 4. So I imagine these ones were sprayed from side to side into, or kind of diagonal balls rather than the goal kicks, which seem to be straight on down, and that's probably why they're not so accurate. But these ones probably the kind of balls that go from one side of the park to the other at the back, with like Ivan Toney trying to chase it down or something like that. But we've got Jay Cooper 5 and 4, we've got Jed Lords 5 and 5, so that's a good one for Jed Wallace. And I don't think that includes corners. I think that's listed on crosses. So, but pretty poor from Mario Wallison as well. 4 and 0. Kifton Bell 2 and 0. So there you go. So that's it for Stats Sunday's video. Thank you for watching and goodbye.